In addition to mail merging letters, you can also mail merge envelopes. For example, I might mail merge 90 letters and then I want to mail merge 90 professional looking envelopes to put those letters into, each envelope being addressed to the relevant recipient. For this I'm going to bring up a new document, so I'll press Ctrl N to bring up a new file and I'll just bring that into view. Then what I'd like to do is go to Mailings in the ribbon and choose Start Mail Merge and Step-by-Step Mail Merge Wizard. Instead of letters, I'm going to go for envelopes and I'll click Next at the bottom of the Mail Merge task pane. I want to use the current document, but I want to choose my envelope options. I'll click this and then I'll choose the option DL if it's not already selected. So I'm just checking it is DL and OK. If I then go Next to select Recipients, I can browse and find the file that we used earlier to do a mail merge letter. So it's on my desktop and it's called Company. I'll go OK and accept all of the recipients instead of filtering out just certain ones. And Next. At this point, I need to click on the envelope to find this frame. So you might have to click a couple of times until your cursor is positioned inside of this frame. Then inside that frame, I'm going to insert an address block. And I'm okay with the default address block. So then I go Next. Here's a preview of what my first envelope will look like, and I can move to each recipient to see what each and every other envelope will look like. I'm happy with my envelope, so I'll go Next to complete the merge, and I'll go Edit Individual Envelopes and OK to all. What eventually happens is a document will appear with a number of envelopes in it, and as I scroll down, I can see all the envelopes to go with the earlier mail merge of letters. Where I had 90 letters, I now have 90 envelopes to go with those letters. Just to remind you, as far as the return address that appears in the top left corner, that came from File and Options and Advanced, and towards the bottom you've got the ability to put a mailing address in here. So you might like to put that in or not if you want it to appear on your envelopes. I'd basically then fill up the envelope bin and start printing my envelopes. Now, in addition to mail merging letters and envelopes, you can also mail merge labels. For this, I'll press Ctrl N to open up another new document, and I'll bring that into view. I'll then go to Mailings in my ribbon and choose Start Mail Merge and Step-by-Step Mail Merge Wizard. We've looked at the option letters and envelopes. Now let's have a look at the option labels, and Next to start the document. In the same way as that we said we wanted to use the current document, but we chose envelope options, we now choose label options. When you go into label options, you need to make sure that you've got the correct label, product number, and vendor selected. If your vendor and or product number isn't listed, you can go into new label and you can give it a very custom name, and you can actually put in all the dimensions. If you've got a label sheet with a particular top margin, side margin, and etc., and here's this diagram to help you, just simply enter in all the values, give it a name, and that particular label size will always then be available for future mail merges. But I'm just going to stick with the standard L7163 Avery labels, and I'll choose OK. It immediately creates the layout based on that label dimensions. I'll then go Next. Here's when we choose our recipient, so I'm going to browse for that Word document on the desktop that has a table full of people called Company. Again, I could tick and untick who I did and didn't want to create labels for. I could also do a filter if I wanted only certain ones, but I'm going to go OK. When I choose Next, I can arrange my labels. In the very first label, I'd like to insert an address block. And I'm happy with the default address block, so I'll go OK. And then what you must do before proceeding to the next step is click the button Update All Labels, otherwise you'll only get one label with an address. If I then go Next to preview my labels, this is what I see. I see labels for each of my 90 people in that table in the company file. I'll then go next to complete the merge, edit individual labels, click OK to all. A new document will be created, which I'll bring into view, which has got a number of pages, which is a label for each one of my letters that I can put on the front of the envelope. So you can really easily, using the step-by-step mail merge wizard, you can really easily mail merge letters, labels, envelopes, emails even, in a directory. All you have to do is have a list of people, either in a Word document as a table and each column has a column heading, or you can easily mail merge to an Excel file. You just have to have column headings again. You can easily mail merge to an Access database and a particular query or table in that Access database. And you can easily also email to a contacts folder. As you saw earlier in the video when we were choosing the company file, we had the ability to use a contacts folder. So your list doesn't have to be in Word. It can be in a variety of locations, including Excel, Access, and Outlook.